You're watching Fios1 News. It's 7 o'clock.
Making headlines this morning, power lines are down throughout the Garden State after last night's rain and windstorm. We'll bring you the latest power outage reports. Plus, the state attorney general is partnering with the mayor of Patterson to combat the opioid crisis in the city. We'll tell you about their newest plan. And Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings has died after suffering health complications. We'll look at the life of a civil rights champion. Your news starts right now.
Fios1 News, Morning Edition.
Good morning. It is 7 o'clock on this Thursday, October 17th, and Brian is here. And wow, Brian, that rain came down.
It sure
wind,
did.
It's crazy.
Yeah, just trying to hang on to my hat this morning.
Absolutely.
It is gusty out there. We were just trying to figure out if you lost your hat, would it just go into the neighbor's yard, or is it going all the way down the street?
Yeah, really, exactly. I think it's going down the street the way I saw it.
It is gusty out this morning. Let me show you some of these numbers that we've had rolling in. Gusts over 40 and 50 miles per hour this morning and through the last 24 hours. We expect it to stay very gusty moving into this afternoon as well. So please just keep that in mind for today. Good news is the rain has moved out. The high wind warnings, that sticks around through 6 p.m. down the shore and in our counties closest to the city. So Bergen, Essex, Southern Passaic, Union County, you're all going to be under that, as well as Hudson County. Satellite radar picture now showing dry weather, and although we'll have a good amount of clouds around this afternoon, I do think it remains on the dry side. It's 52 at Patterson, 52 at Parsippany, 48 in Vernon, and those temperatures could feel even a little bit colder with the wind factored in. You can see the storm exiting to the north, and then we're getting these gusty west and northwest winds coming in as the pressure gradient tightens up. And what that really is a squeeze play on the atmosphere, and it brings in those gusty winds. Mid-50s this afternoon, a little better by the weekend. We'll have more details on that. Plus, the rest of your 7-day forecast is just ahead.
Checking back in on the roads and rails, let's start off with what we have happening out on the roads. So we still have some ramp restrictions for Route 4. This is going to be as you are coming off of the George Washington Bridge, heading westbound for the express ramp to Route 4. So we have the lanes blocked there, or the ramp blocked there due to police activity. So just be mindful of that. Heading further south in the Linden area, we still have that road closure happening routes 1 and 9 south at Stiles Street, and due to that downed pole. And then also still trying to clear up that overturned tractor trailer situation at Route 440 southbound at Danforth Avenue. So we still have those lanes blocked out there. Our drive times are certainly starting to pick up as we start to head into the thick of our morning commute. New Jersey Transit mostly on our closest schedule. Some delays of about 15 minutes for the Port Jervis line, and PATH trains all back to normal following that switch failure issue earlier. I'm Nicole Denado. That's your Fios1 News traffic report.
Thousands lost power in North Jersey after those wicked storms blew through, knocking down wires and trees across the state. A massive tree fell in Union County, and that's where we find Fios1's Stephen Maluski. Stephen, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Christine. We're located on Tremont Avenue here in Westfield Township. I want you to take a look behind me and just look at this scene. You can see this massive tree fell right in front of this home. It's still tough to tell just how extensive the damage is early this morning as the sun begins to come out, but you can see this area is blocked off by caution tape. According to the latest reports from PSE&G, several hundred customers are still without power throughout the Garden State. The chaotic conditions Wednesday night caused major flooding in several portions of the state, as well as transformer fires and downed wires. The high winds and torrential rain also caused several trees to fall, including this one that narrowly missed, severely damaging 2 homes near Kansas Street and Hackensack. At the peak of the storms, more than 6,000 people had lost power in northern New Jersey Wednesday night, including thousands in Bergen, Morris, and Essex counties. And while the rain has stopped, there are still concerns about high winds in the Garden State. The National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory for most counties throughout northern New Jersey through Thursday night. In Westfield, Stephen Maluski, Fios1 News.
Here are the latest numbers from the utilities. JCP&L is reporting just over 3,600 customers are affected by power outages. According to PSE&G, just under 850 people are in the dark, and as for O&R, 160 customers have no power. Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings has died. Cummings died early this morning at Johns Hopkins Hospital due to complications from longstanding health challenges. That's according to his office on Capitol Hill. A sharecropper's son, Cummings became the powerful chairman of the House Oversight and Reform Committee that investigated President Donald Trump. He passionately advocated for the poor in his district that encompassed a large portion of Baltimore. Elijah Cummings was 68 years old. A Bergen County surgery center is facing a class action lawsuit after potentially exposing thousands of patients to HIV. According to NJ.com, Health Plus Surgery Center in Saddlebrook may have also exposed patients to hepatitis B and C. The lawsuit approved by a judge last week involves 400 New Jersey residents who were among the nearly 4,000 patients treated at the center and who are now at risk. Those patients had procedures at the facility between January and September of 2018. The lawsuit claims the facility hasn't taken measures to ensure patients receive a follow-up test or cover the costs of those tests. Combating the opioid crisis in the Garden State has become a public health issue. Officials in Paterson this week announced a $150,000 grant to help form opioid response teams made up of law enforcement and medical professionals. They'll actively respond to overdose calls in the hopes of saving lives. Fios1's Mary Lynn Buckley has more on the story.
We're here today to announce that Paterson is one of 5 cities in New Jersey receiving a $150,000 grant from us to establish opioid response teams.
The Attorney General, Mayor Sayi, and law enforcement officials stood together addressing one of the biggest issues across the country and in the city of Paterson, opioids.
We have a lot of work to do. We do, and we're taking this very seriously. We have 76 days left in this year.
Police in many ways have their hands full.
We have the amount of police officers that we need to fight crime in this city right now.
The new effort launching to keep people safe, 24/7 opioid response teams.
Each ORT in this state is comprised of at least 1 police officer, at least 1 EMS specialist, and at least 1 substance abuse recovery advocate. The goal of these response teams is to develop partnerships across different agencies and different specialties.
And proof of the opioid crisis is very much in the numbers. Since 1999, 400,000 fatal overdoses have taken place in the United States. In 2005, New Jersey saw 10,000 fatal overdoses. And just last year, in 2018, 196 fatal overdoses took place right here in Passaic County. This past weekend, city law enforcement conducted a 3-day crime sweep, resulting in 30 arrests, 5 guns confiscated, and nearly 1,300 tickets.
Crime started occurring in different areas at different hours, so we have to make adjustments.
But immediately after this sweep, Monday night shots were fired, resulting in 3 teens injured.
Right, this is not like The Wire where people are just walking around and selling drugs in plain sight. This is happening, and people are coming out of cars, going into bodegas. Those cases have to be made.
Officials believe this new grant, which will fund opioid response teams, will give victims of abuse a way to cope with their addiction in ways other than violence. In Paterson, Mary Lynn Buckley, Fios1 News.
There's a new incentive for Newark students to go to school. Coming up, we'll tell you why a Major League Soccer team is kicking around an idea to help out.
You're watching Fios1 News, the one place for what's happening in New Jersey. Brought to you by St. Peter's University. Thinking about earning your bachelor's degree? It's never too late to get started with online programs in business, criminal justice, cybersecurity, nursing, and more. Enroll now.